What's that, Skip? Seano's talking about Supercoach again. Let's go. G'day everybody, it's Seano again, and I'm back with some more Supercoach content. Today we're going to be doing our round 23 review video, and we're going to go through our team and see how we did, talk about our captain and vice captain choices, and we don't have any trades left, so we won't really be discussing much when it comes to trades. Before we go on, please give me a subscribe. I don't think we're going to make that 300, our mission of making 300 subscribers before the end of the AFL season. But if you haven't already subscribed and you're watching this video, please do that for me. It helps me out a lot. And if you like the video, leave me a like and comment down below. Alright, let's get into it and see how we did. Alright, so we scored 2,643, which is pretty good. That's a round rank of 4,566, which is very nice. Top 2% of everybody in the rank of the round, so very nice. Takes my total score to 51,793, and that means this week we moved up 1,073 places to our overall ranking to be 5,807. So that's really good. Nice to see some green arrows again, and nice to see a 1,000 jump in places. Can we reach that top 5,000 with one more game to go? Maybe. Another good score like this, maybe we can. But let's see how the team looked. Let's go and have a look at how the team looked. How did we get 2,643? 43, yeah, 43. Okay, in the back line, we had Wanganeen Malira got 100, was our vice captain. We chose not to take that, wasn't enough for us. And Sinclair got a 95. We both thought that both of those might have been bigger scores, considering they're supposed to be an easy matchup, but, you know, we'll take what we take. Whitfield, nice with 111. Nice to see him back in nice figures. Callum Mills, 106. It's been very good since we got him in. Definitely worthwhile, and it's definitely been a good D6 on most weeks, except for those couple of weeks where he got a couple of 60s. I think he's got 100 every other week, so it has been a good buy-in for sure for the money we paid for him. Ballydale 128. Yes, the Bulldogs feasted on my team, the Eagles, and so as we probably expected they would, managed to cost me in some of my other leagues. We didn't mention the leagues at the beginning, but yep, I'm out of all my leagues. We might go into that a little bit more after we've done the team review. So 127 for Zorko, very, very nice. Bont 148, who was my captain, so lovely. It's been pretty reliable. I've just been chucking the captain and the vice captain on Bont for about the last 4 or 5 weeks. When he's in this type of form, I think you don't really have to worry too much about matchups. You can just chuck it on him and, you know, one or the other, and be pretty confident that he's going to get you most weeks a decent score. Matt Rao 117, very nice. Dacos 133, I like it. Harry Sheasel, now let's talk about this man. 54 possessions and a couple of goals. What a game. What a game. We've seen it before. He just has the ability to get these massive scores, when he wants to. And 54 possessions is really, really nice. I mean, can we think about getting him next year as probably a midfield only? I think we should start praying to the Supercoach gods that maybe he gets mid-forward status. Wouldn't that be something to have someone in your team who could get 185 for mid-forward status? But I got a feeling he's going to be mid-only, but we will see how we go. Anyway, well done, Sheasel. Very, very nice. Brayshaw 111, like it. I don't know, maybe it's the week of the 111s. Whitfield and Brayshaw both on 111. Zach Butters 125. Nice to see a good comeback game after his tag last week. Rankin 86. Could be potentially a naughty boy and might not play. Potentially could not play again this season if he's found guilty of the homophobic slur. It's alleged at the moment, but going from past penalties this year and last year, if he gets done, it'll be probably 3 or 4 weeks minimum. So, I mean, I think Adelaide are going to be pretty disappointed if he gets done for it. Marek 89. Oh, we didn't talk about Clark got 67 as an emergency. I always forget the emergencies. And Saad El Halouli got 53. So at least we got some emergencies playing. Marek 89 was reasonable. We got him in to replace Hayden Young because we couldn't afford anybody else. So, we'll take the 89 off him considering we couldn't afford anyone. Gawn 145, great. English 132 against the Eagles, was expected to get a big score. Could have been even bigger than this. But we will definitely take that every day of the week from English. Bailey Smith 131, Darcy 83. Darcy's score could have been more as well. Did start on fire. Caleb Daniel 91, McRae 78, Petrarca 85, and Warner 89. And the flex of McCarthy got a 77. So that's the score. That was the lowest score, I believe, 77, which got dropped out. So overall, not a bad week. A lot of good players, not too many super fails. Would have been nice to see, a three-figure score in the forward line beside Bailey Smith. When we did this, we did have the team like this before, so not one forward got over 100. But now we're putting a rank up there just in case he gets rubbed out. At least we've got a chance of getting a sub-score where we've got no coverage here in the forward line. So that's how we went for the king and the joker of the team. Well, I think the king is pretty obvious, right? How do you go past the Cheezels? Everybody loves Cheezels and everybody loves Harry Cheezel. I mean, what a player. 54 possessions, 2 goals, I think it was, unless he scored more by the end. Just a brilliant performance by him. And, I mean, if you weren't already thinking he's one of the best players in the league already at his young age, you certainly should be thinking that now. Okay, for the joker. Who gets the joker this week? Let's give it to Rankin. We'll give it to him. He got an 86, which is still higher than some, but we're going to give him a temporary joker, because if he made the comments that he's accused of making, well, then he's a moron and an idiot, and he's going to potentially cost his team a grand final. He's a very influential player for their team, and if they don't have him for the rest of the season, that could be the difference between a grand final and not a grand final for them. So we're going to give it to Rankin, and if he's found not guilty, we will take it back. Okay. All right. Little bit of a chat about leagues before we move on. So as you guys know, we were already knocked out of our league. Unfortunately, we got knocked out in straight sets after finishing in third place. We lost the first week and we lost the second week, which in a way is a little bit disappointing, because if we had played this week, we had the top score in our league and we would have won and we would have been in the grand final. So we only had to just win one of the matches last week or the week before and we would have made it through. But that's Supercoach and that's how finals go. Both the past 2 weeks, I think both times the players had Grundy. And I did not. And then, of course, Grundy gets injured on the week that I get knocked out of the final. So, we can't do much. If we have a look at my overall, if we go to the league, view league, if we go for total points, I'm coming third out of everyone in our league. So, it's still not too bad. I finished exactly where I deserved to finish, right? Third is where I deserved to finish, and that's where I finished in the head-to-head. So it kind of worked out at the end of the season. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes you'll have the highest total score out of everyone, and yet you'll be in 8th or 9th place or something when you just had an unlucky season in your head-to-head matches. This year, I think I got a bit unlucky, but then I got a bit lucky in other ones. So it kind of worked out in the end. There'll be no premierships in Supercoach for Sean, but I do have a couple of my other leagues where I'm still in the running. I'm out of fantasy, but in the sports deck one, I'm still in the running for 2 premierships in that one. So I still got a little bit to play for in some of my other competitions, my fantasy competitions. Let's go back to the team. Let's have a chat about... Obviously, I've got no trades, so if Rankining's out, we can't do anything about it. We're just going to have to hope that one of these subs plays. I've got enough versatility that I should be able to at least get a sub score as long as someone plays in the midfield. It should be fine. I'm not too sure when Gross is coming back or if Zach Johnson has a chance of playing. And Sard was started as the sub this week. So, I mean, the score I might get might not be great if he starts as the sub again, but there's nothing we can do about it. As for captain and vice-captain choices, so I think for me, I'm going to keep it simple. 1 or 2 players for the vice-captain, either Dacos or Gawn against each other. Collingwood played Melbourne, so you can't expect Dacos to have a decent game, and you can't expect Gawn to have a decent game. Gawn's stats against Collingwood are pretty good: 131, 122, and 132. So he's pretty good against Cameron Darcy. Dacos has had reasonable efforts as well. 95 this year. Last year though, he got 186 against them. So take that how you will, but it says to me, and especially considering how poor midfield for Melbourne has been this year, that I think either one of those is a pretty good choice. And then I think I'm going to go straight into Bont again. Bont versus Freo. I don't think it really matters who Bont plays. The more competitive the game, sometimes the more he scores. So he's been safe, and I think it'd just be silly to try and unless you've got someone like, even if I had someone like Isaac Heaney versus the Eagles, I'd be very tempted to make him my captain. But I think Bont is just safe. Sometimes it's just better to go the safe option. And so I think these two are pretty safe at getting me a reasonable score, like a 130 plus. So, that's what we'll be looking for, and hopefully they can do that. As for everything else, I don't think there's too much else to go through. We're going to keep the video pretty short. There's not much to say this time of the year. Apologies for not getting out a live video last week. Things happened, life happened, and we didn't get a chance to do it, but we will definitely try and get a live video out this week, potentially Thursday morning, and we'll have a chat about the teams, and anyone needs advice for their finals, or tell me how they're going. I'd love to hear how some of you guys and girls out there in the community are going, how your season's finished off, and and what's going on out there in the Supercoach land. And so that's all from me for today. I hope everyone has an awesome day, and I will speak to you all very soon. Take it away, Skip.